Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana will reveal the state of the country's finances tomorrow. His medium-term budget will have to balance the demands of public sector wage increases, the extension of social grants and support for Eskom. eNCA business editor Devan Murugan takes a closer look.
Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana will take stock of what adjustments have to be made since the February budget. There's some good news in that tax collections are running well ahead of budget estimates, and that's thanks largely to a continued run by mining companies, possibly 100 billion rand more than expected. Now, even with the better than expected revenue, the Finance Minister still has his work cut out for him. Top of the list is how much of Eskom's 400 billion rand debt will government take on.
We know that Eskom is sitting with a balance sheet debt of around 400 billion, and financial markets are anticipating that about half of that is then taken onto government's balance sheet. That would add around 3% of government debt to GDP and would give us another 15 billion rand worth in debt servicing costs. But I think financial markets will be a bit more pleased with an outcome like that to suggest that there is some longer-term solution in place.
Then there's the public sector wage increase issue. The wage bill makes up more than a third of government expenditure, and Treasury has penciled in a 3% wage increase for public workers. But unions are not budging and are preparing to take to the streets.
But we do believe that government will try to take quite a hard stance against seeing this wage bill continuing to soar. Again, in previous years, we saw, the wages really gobbling up a very large percentage of revenues in South Africa. And this is really what government is trying to move away from.
Those in desperate need of income support will want to know whether or not social distress grants will continue beyond March next year.
Again, it is, you're looking at 40 to 50 billion rand of expenditure. If they do that, that was not budgeted for in February. So then the question becomes, is this unfunded, or does the Treasury start to, even if it's implicitly, start to assume some tax increases to fund that grant over the medium term?
Government's borrowing costs are up sharply since February, all the more reason for Treasury to be prudent. Devan Murugan, Johannesburg.